Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kristen Nicole Mann, or Kristen Mann for short. I am so excited. Thank you to everyone that's been tuning in for my past couple of videos. I know they've been like a little deep. And honestly, if you ask anybody that knows me, they know me for not this type of content, more so like art and being an author and books and all these other things, but this type of content I am not usually doing. So this is all new. I feel like I am out here naked with no clothes on. That's why I got like the little plant theme. But today I'm gonna talk a little bit about daddy issues. And the reason why I want to talk about all these things that I've been talking about on my channel so far is because I have a special announcement soon. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow, this evening, maybe the end of the week, but there's a specific reason why I'm channeling in or zeroing in on these stories in my life. And healing that needed to take place a long time ago has happened. Breakthrough has happened, and I'm just here to be a vessel to help other women deal with the things that they may have seen through my channel, or just things in general that we can all talk about. So this is a huge pivot and transition for me. Usually I dedicate my artistic creations to women, and helping them with identity, loving themselves. I use a lot of words that empower women, and now it's time to step from behind the canvas and put my foot on the neck of these things that have been taking women to depression, to anxiety, to feeling less valuable, all these things that are not of God. So I'm excited, but today we're going to talk about daddy issues, because daddy issues are something that I came to terms with a couple years ago. God literally just wrecked my whole life and made me understand why I had a certain relationship and why I treated God the way that I did. It was because I had daddy issues. And this is a topic that's more so discussed by men, but I'm kind of like over the men speaking for women. And nothing against them. That's great that they want to talk about how women are, I don't want to say trash, but they've been kind of trashing women for a little bit. So coming from a woman's perspective, I wanted to put this out there. So for myself, I grew up in a house that had addiction. So the addiction was alcoholism. My father was alcoholic my whole life. I was born into it. He was an alcoholic before I even got in this world. So that is something that I just was born into. I didn't ask for it. And as I grew up, I can only remember one time that he quit for like a whole year, which was the most awkward year ever. Because by that time I think I was out of high school, or I was just about to be out of high school. And so the trust factor was not there. I didn't really believe that he was going to quit. And, he had already damaged any belief in him quitting. So when I was younger, he was the type of alcoholic that would hide from us, like my mom, my sister, my brother. He's way older than me, so I was two when he graduated high school, so he witnessed some of it, but As far as when we were, my mom, my sister, and myself, we were in the house with him, he would hide it from us. So he was a drinker that would drink to himself. He didn't need a social event. He didn't need none of that. He would drink to himself. He would get off of work and he would be fine and sober. Then you go downstairs to his little man cave and he'll come back up a totally different person. Every house that we've had, like my parents had, he always had a room. He always had a section that was dedicated to himself. So I was used to him being in that room or that space all the time. I was used to having to throw away the trash. I was used to him being asleep. And so it's like God brought this back to my remembrance. And I was like, I remember being about 5, 6, like I was really young and I loved going to the library. And for some reason, I was trying to find a book today, but the Holy Spirit, I think, was working back then, because I was in this library and I happened to come across this book breaking down what alcoholism was. And I was like, wow, this is, I was reading it. When I was that age, I was like already on a third grade reading level. Like I think I was already on a third grade reading level. So I was like able to read and comprehend what I was reading. And I was trying to find the book today, but the book literally it taught you how each kind of alcoholic was like, is it a functioning alcoholic? Is it dysfunctional alcoholic? Is it an abusive alcoholic? And that book was like a children's book. So I came across it in the library and I started reading it and I literally comprehended. It blows my mind now that I'm like, that's probably how I was able to cope with my dad being an alcoholic, because that stuck in my mind since that day. And I used to like when he turned into the other person, which I call it was like Jekyll and Hyde, because I mean he wasn't the same when he was drunk. He would say a lot of more derogatory things. He would like crack jokes a lot. Like, for instance, as a daughter, you don't want like your dad saying, you've gotten fat or you've gotten skinny or you've like, anything to your look. So it was really strange to grow up where you have to flow in and out of that. I didn't trust my dad. I didn't realize that though until I was like an adult, but I didn't trust him because I was so used to seeing two people. And that alcoholism would take him over and he would turn into this like, just sometimes it'd be mean, sometimes he'll just want to hug too much, then sometimes it'll be like he'll stay away. So it was all different kinds of things. But I remember that comprehending that book. And that's why knowledge is so necessary. Like if you have a child with someone that's dealing with this type of addiction, please, please, please go get them books, talk to them, be realistic about the situation. I'm telling you, like my family always had open conversations about this. So that's why I don't think it really affected me to the point where it did affect me. Let me take that back. But as far as I wasn't in the dark, I'll put it like that. I wasn't in the dark about a lot of this stuff. And I am so grateful for that, because if I would have never found that book, I would have never known that my dad was a functioning alcoholic. So a functioning alcoholic is someone that can still work, someone that can still function and do the daily tasks that they have to do, but they either drink at the end of the night or they can be drunk while doing it. Like it's pretty intense to see, because you don't want the person to hurt themselves, but they still are functioning with everything, everyday things that they usually do. They might be drunk while they're doing it, or they might really go hardcore after they get off of work. A lot of people drink while they're at work, not really anymore, because when my dad was working, it was like in the 80s, 70s, it was different time then. But he actually got fired from one job because he took his break and he was like sleep in the car. Not sure if he was drinking, but my mother confirmed that he was drinking, and they kind of saw him on the camera, and that's why they fired him. So we've had some bouts, like some real stuff that we went through as a family, and him losing that job really put our family in a state of poverty, because my mom wasn't making that much, or she was staying at home actually with me. She stayed at home till I was about, I think, 4 or 5. And then she like went to work full time. So it really disrupted everything when he lost his job. And yeah, the pain, y'all, the pain that it caused. I'm telling you, sorry if the light, you keep seeing the light going in and out. I'm just using natural light. But so daddy issues, all these years dealing with this alcoholism allowed me to have trust issues. It allowed me to have just this anger, like not able to understand how to express my emotions. Like I used to be someone that if you made me mad, I would just not talk to you. And that's, now looking back, I'm like, that is how I was conditioned, because I was so mad at my dad for not like being the best that he could be, and being drunk and stuff, that I couldn't talk to him when he was in this physical drunk state. Like I couldn't. So I had to keep it to myself, and I carried that over into relationships with everyone, friends, family, boys, you name it. I would be the type of person that wouldn't talk to you for like 2 weeks, because I didn't understand that, one, I was keeping all of that in. Secondly, I didn't understand that keeping it in was affecting me. Thirdly, I didn't understand that you can actually get sick from keeping stuff in and not really dealing with it. So I would say that my teenage, like, we moved back to, I would say around middle school, like 7th grade, I was annoyed. I was really annoyed because we had moved back to Virginia from New York. My dad wanted to move back to Virginia. I had all my friends in New York. All my life was set up. And I remember writing him a letter. I think my mom still has it till this day. And I was like, I'm not coming with y'all. I'm going to make arrangements with somebody else to live here. And so when we moved back to Virginia, I was in 7th grade, and I was not able to, that transition was very hard on me, because I was learning new people and learning a new place again, all over again. I was born in Virginia, but moving back to a place that you don't know about when you're 11, that's a hard age. I wouldn't suggest any parents move their kids unless they have to. Like, I get other situations, but if you really don't have to, please, it will be hard on your kids. So anyways, what happened was, let's jump to me being an adult. I was about 26 when I recognized, when God gave me this encounter of, you need to get healed from your daddy issues. At this time, my father ended up passing away because of alcoholism. That's literally on his death certificate. Liver cirrhosis. I don't know how to, I'm probably saying it wrong, but that's from him drinking. So all his organs like just started to shut down because they told him to stop drinking. Like when I was 3, he didn't. And I'm surprised he lasted till I was 24, but that's another story. So 26, I embark on my own journey. 24, I had my first son. And you know, him, his dad and me decided to move back to New York. So his dad ended up being from where we moved away. And so I moved out here and I was away from everything that I knew. Now, I'll tell that story another day, but I was away from everything that I knew. So it was really just quietness. And it was like the first time I was able to like see me, deal with me, be quiet. And I remember like I used to be cooking, I used to have certain songs come on and I would just be like emotional. And I was like, where is this coming from? Because I'm an emotional person, but I'm really not emotional either. But anyways, so I remember God was like, you need to deal with your dad and how he hurt you. And I was like, what? No, I'm good. I'm good. He's gone, he's gone to heaven. And I just remember like he was like in like the crevices of my heart, like pointing out things, saying, this is why you ended up making decisions that you did with guys. This is why you deal with people the way that you do. This is why you kind of distance yourself and you're not really open to me because you're treating me like I'm your actual dad, like your physical, biological dad. So there was this whole journey from 26 to even up till now. I'm 32. I just turned 32, where he opened and expanded my it's like he was showing me the heart surgery because I didn't realize that I had all of these things stemming from one issue. Now, that's not to say that that was it, but this was one of the major issues in my life, y'all. Daddy issues, because like I said, I was born into addiction. It took me till 31 to admit that. I was like, wait, hold on. Not to admit it, but like to actually say it out loud. And I was like, wait, I was actually born in addiction. This is some serious stuff. And so when I said that out loud, it's like something like jolted in me because I was like, wow, I need to start talking about this. Now, this is not everybody. You might be on the other side of this and you're like, I'm just learning from you. But I'm telling you, I was like, I need to start talking about it because I would see people talk about stuff, like my first video. If you haven't watched that, you can go watch my abortion story. That story I was going to take to the grave. Like, I wasn't going to tell y'all about that. I wasn't going to tell nobody about that. But God has me in a different part of my life now, and he wants me to share these stories because there's that one person. I'm not talking to a group, I'm talking to that one person, that one female, even possibly male, that you try to like mask your hurt, your pain, and everything with success. You're a high achiever. Most of the times when you're a high achiever, you probably have some daddy issues. You probably have some mommy issues. Something is there with that. It's not just, you like to have success. It's like when you're driven like that, there's some things that you probably haven't dealt with. I know because I've been that person, and I still sometimes am that person because I will be the type that dive into work when I'm hurt or something. Now it feels uncomfortable for me to go that route. Now it feels like, nah, I got to deal with this because I'm not going to be able to work, or I'm not going to be able to forgive, or I'm not going to be able to treat people, right or correctly if I don't deal with it. So I say all that to say, he exposed my daddy issues to me in that way. I was right at home, right, not too far from where I'm sitting right now, where he was just like, this is this, you got to deal with this, you got to deal with that. And I was like, yo. And I think, when we start treating God like some of the bad relationships that we were in with guys, or some of the bad, male figures in your family, because you might just not know your dad at all. You might have an uncle that's an alcoholic. You might have a boyfriend that you been involved with that's an alcoholic. You might have just a cousin that, picks up the bottle like that, or have substance in general. But for me, it was alcoholism. And so what I'm saying is that it's affecting you, and you have to be realistic about it, and you have to talk out, like even write your feelings out. If you don't want to talk, writing is always the best thing to do, because I used to write, I used to think that I was such this deep artistic person, but it was really like all these things were knocking, like, let me out, let me out. And now I'm like, that's why they always say, when artists, like singers, you ever notice when they're happy, they're like not making music? Will you ever notice, like, when a rapper has excelled past a certain level? Like, let's take Jay-Z, for instance. Jay-Z, how much music does he drop now that he's like a billionaire? He don't drop that much music. So that's what happens when you get into a space of I would say a victory, or you really like achieving and over like leaping over that trauma, that pain. Like, it's, of course, he's came out and said he's had therapy, he's had all these other things. People do different things, but I know for sure, like, when I'm in a healthy state right now. There's still a lot of things to work on, but I'm in a healthy spot right now. And I'm like, I don't want to really do what I used to do. And that's what it means by you're evolving, you're growing, and God's not going to show you stuff like your trust issues or your daddy issues because he wants you to not be better. He shows you this stuff to be better at relationships, to trust again, to trust in him. And so I don't take that lightly no more. And I'm so grateful that, he's shown me these things so that he can have access to the other areas of my life, and he can grow me and show me. I didn't try to rhyme there, but show me the other things that he has for my life that he wants me to achieve, or what he wants me to experience. We can't always stay in that safe place of pain. And unfortunately, and culturally, we like to stay in this state of pain because we know creating out of that can get addictive. Ironic. It can get addictive. So in return, my dad was a alcoholic, but I was also addicted. I was also using these things to get high off of, or to get drunk off of. And you have to know how to come up against that stronghold. That's a stronghold that, yeah, I might not be out drinking with people, and I might not buy alcohol on my own, but there's other things that I have taken on because of that same stronghold. So I really hope that you can get healed from this. I will put like a prayer in the description about forgiveness. I was able to forgive my dad. Unfortunately, it had to be after he passed away, but I was able to forgive him. And that broke a lot off of me, like a lot of the trust issues, there's still things that happen within relationships that I have in current life, but I'm able to forgive quicker. And that's the beauty of all of that. So I really hope you enjoyed the daddy issues. Excuse the back because it's like I have this crown on. But follow me on Instagram at Kristen Nicole Mann. If you want to ask any questions, you can email me at Kristen Nicole Mann at gmail.com. And I thank you for coming back to my channel, and I will see you next time. See you later. Bye.